Hi folks, another day of democracy.
The Black Ferns are off to the World Cup. Have you got a message of support for them?
Oh, they probably don't need my support, they'll blitz the field, but all I'd say is go the Black Ferns. After their outstanding performance a few years ago, can't wait to see them in action again.
Do you think it was right for Chlöe Swarbrick to be kicked out of the House yesterday?
Well, the Speaker is always right. What's wrong is to publicly criticise the Speaker. The fact is, if you can't follow the rules in your own workplace, how are you supposed to advocate for a rules-based international order? And the thing about extremists all over the world is they believe they are so right, no one else's rules apply to them. Well, actually, in many ways, Chlöe Swarbrick's as bad as the people she's criticising.
Is she an extremist?
Well, she's showing the behaviour of someone who thinks that she is so right that she doesn't need to follow anyone else's rules. I actually think we may have reached peak Chlöe. You've got maximum moral virtue signalling, maximum theatrics, and as usual, zero actual achievements.
Is it theatrics, or is it just her convictions, her showing her principles?
Well, there's lots of ways you can show your convictions and principles, usually by being persuasive. Nobody is persuaded by someone who needs to break the basic rules that we all rely on for our parliament to function to get her point across. I just make the point, our parliament has evolved over hundreds of years so that we debate the people. Our parliament has evolved over hundreds of years so we debate the issue on behalf of the people we represent, rather than just attacking the character or motivations of other people's representatives.
The punishment would seem to be disproportionate and quite inconsistent with other rulings recently. Is that fair?
Well, again, the Speaker makes the ruling. I'm not here to criticise the Speaker, but the fact is that she was asked to leave and she said gladly, so I guess she's accepted it. I don't see what her problem is. I don't know why she's still here.
Why is she getting a harsher punishment than any other MP?
Well, that's your assertion. Actually, it's up to the Speaker to judge what sort of sanctions are needed to maintain order in the House. And I just make the point that if everyone decided that they were going to wave their banners, do their haka, attack other people's character and motivations, we would no longer have a parliament of debate, something that people around the world are fighting very hard to have. Parliamentary democracy that she's been lucky to be born into, that she benefits from, gets a decent salary from, and yet can't follow the basic rules of being respectful. How can we believe that she's going to bring peace to the Middle East?
Do you believe that standing orders empower the Speaker to remove an MP from the House for more than a day over something like this?
Well, the thing is, she's actually accepted what the Speaker said herself, so it's sort of moot.
You're on the Privileges Committee. Do you know if anyone's put in a Privileges complaint about her behaviour?
Well, I'm not on the Privileges Committee, but even if I was, it would be the Speaker who would receive it. The Speaker then goes back to the member concerned, decides what ruling he's going to make and if he's going to refer it to the Privileges Committee, and it would be wrong for anyone that had put one in to discuss it before that's happened.
Okay, so you don't know if anyone from the ACT Party's done that?
Look, even if I did know that, the rules are, we put a privileges complaint in, that's for the Speaker to consider, it's not for other people to speculate about.
Chris Hipkins says there's an unfolding genocide happening in Gaza. Do you agree?
Well, you know, the International Court of Justice has been asked that very question, and they've said it may be likely, but they haven't said that it is. So unless Chris Hipkins knows something more than the International Court of Justice, I'm not sure. But the next question is, what do you actually do about it? And the fact is that the government going off and recognising Palestine without any conditions is rewarding terrorism. I think we've got to be a bit clear about that. What our government is doing is working through the issues and coming to a sane, sober solution where we put our position forward to the rest of the world in full knowledge of the facts. Thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta go and talk to that guy, I know. Hey Chris, how you going?
Good.
Good. Yeah. Hey, how you going?
David, just quickly, you can obviously hear this noise going on in the background. What do you think of the protests that's going on today?
Well, you know, it's a little bit like the person they're trying to support, noisy and ineffective. The facts are the best thing that New Zealand can do is come to a sensible set of conditions that will actually enhance human rights in the world. Simply running out and trying to be the most morally supreme person doesn't help. But as I say, I think we've reached peak Chlöe Swarbrick. Maximum self-righteousness and moral supremacy, maximum theatrics, and as usual, no actual achievements or results from it.
David, the majority of the public in the last One News poll say that they would like to see a rates cap. What would you make of that?
I want to see council costs controlled. If you can control the costs by getting rid of the expensive RMA, dealing with the costs put on councils by regional councils, which make it more expensive for them to get consent to do everything, focus the councils on just doing the things that they actually need to do, not everything they dream of doing, then you can get your costs down. Same with temporary traffic management, same with health and safety. All of those things are being done to get the costs down. If you can get council costs down, you may not need a rates cap. If you put in place a rates cap without getting the costs under control, they'll just go into debt.
What do you say to councils that say that this is completely unpractical?
Well, the fact is, they've got crumbling infrastructure. They need a way of fixing it. If you cap the rates before you figure out how to control their cost, then you're just going to have a collision.
Chlöe Swarbrick has essentially sort of implied that ACT has written a sort of contempt or written to the Speaker that she's in contempt of the House.
Well, the rules are very clear. If there is a privileges complaint, then past speakers have ruled you shouldn't be publicising it. If she's saying that, and it may be true or it may not be, then that's on her. But we're actually trying to uphold the rules of Parliament here. It's an institution that, for all our frustrations, actually does pretty well for New Zealand and many countries would like to have. The thing about extremists around the world, they always believe that their cause is so important that they don't have to follow anyone else's rules or actually persuade anyone else. It's always their way or the highway, and the means justify the ends.
Do you party has sent a letter?
Well, again, if we had, we wouldn't say. If we hadn't, we wouldn't say, because the rules are very clear. And some people think upholding the rules of Parliament isn't that important. I happen to think it is.
Do you support the removal of the books that have too many kupu Māori in them, like at the marae?
No, they haven't been removed for that reason. They've been removed because this government is introducing structured literacy where students can sound out the words and actually learn to read faster, so they have foundations for the future. Now, if it is a kura kaupapa Māori or they're teaching in Māori language, they're not compelled to put English words in. If it's an English language medium, they're not compelled to put Māori words in. And the reason for that is if you're trying to get students to learn to sound out words, having two languages with different pronunciations of each vowel just confuses these 5-year-old children. Now, it's also an important point Erica Stanford's made. If you talk to people who teach in Māori language medium, they say we would not put English into Māori language medium for the same reason.
That's anecdotal, but I'm pretty sure there's actual educational studies looking into this, and it shows that it's easier to learn two languages if you are around 5 years old. Have you looked at peer-reviewed evidence here?
Well, it depends if you're talking about learning two languages or learning to read and recognise words and sound them out. If you're trying to do that, then the people who advocate structured literacy, and they do rely on peer-reviewed literature, have said that it's much simpler if a word has one pronunciation. If you have multiple languages with different pronunciations on the same vowel sounds, it's much more difficult for them to learn.
Is it still? Erica Stanford is talking about that for 5-year-olds, but for older children, that they'll work on a program where they will be able to learn Māori words in with English. Is that the right approach? Not at 5, but potentially from year 2?
Well, look, if you want to get into a debate about the ins and outs of pedagogy and curriculum, then I'm probably not your guy, but it makes sense that structured literacy is good. The experiment of whole language has let down a generation of children. This government is now reintroducing structured literacy for the good of those children, and it's probably true that as time goes on they become more capable of learning more languages. Thank you. Thank you very much.